Let's talk about disparities in leadership and investment, specifically when it comes to women-led startups and the emerging FemTech industry. Startups founded by women often outperform male-led teams by 63%, yet in 2023, startups with female founders received only 2.8% of venture capital funding. Let that sink in. On an unequal playing field, women-led companies are delivering more than twice the returns per dollar invested compared to their male counterparts. Now let's talk about FemTech. In 2023, the U.S. FemTech market was valued at $13.89 billion and is forecasted to nearly triple to $34.70 billion by 2033, growing at a compound annual growth rate of 9.6%. But here's the real story behind these numbers. There is still an enormous gender gap in investment. FemTech stands for female technology, a market segment focused on women's health. It encompasses everything from virtual healthcare platforms to wearables and fertility apps. North America leads this sector, with over half of the global FemTech companies headquartered here, and a fifth of those are focused on pregnancy and nursing. Reproductive health, contraception, and menstrual health are also key areas of innovation. Yet, despite the growth and potential of FemTech, bias remains a major barrier. Nearly 90% of investment decisions in 2021 were made by men. These gatekeepers are often less inclined to invest in markets they are less familiar with, like women's health. And this bias isn't just about capital allocation. Roughly 75% of clinical trial participants are men, and just 4% of all biopharma research and development spending goes toward female-specific conditions. It's no surprise that in 2022, only 2 of 37 FDA-approved prescription drugs were for female-specific health conditions. The reality is that gender bias has been embedded in healthcare, R&D, and venture capital for far too long. But here's what we know: investment in FemTech is not just overdue, it's smart business. North America alone has received $11.2 billion in FemTech funding, more than any other country. And this industry is positioned for exponential growth. Europe follows with just over a quarter of FemTech companies, and Asia is emerging with around 10% of the global market. Yet, despite all this promise, women-led companies are still fighting to get their share of capital. This is not just about health, it's about equity and opportunity. The World Economic Forum's 2022 Global Gender Gap Report projects that it will take at least 132 years to achieve gender equality. But we cannot afford to wait. The time to invest in women and in FemTech is now. Female founders, especially in the FemTech space, are creating solutions that directly impact half of the population. It is time we back them, not just because it's fair, but because it's profitable. The future of FemTech and women-led startups is one we all should be invested in. At thePause Technologies, founder Susan Sly and co-founder Dr. Mia Chorney DNP are using their experience in artificial intelligence, IoT, and healthcare to build a FemTech company designed to help women successfully navigate perimenopause and menopause. Who better to solve the challenges women face in their own health journey than women? Let's rally around female-led health startups as investors, consumers, and advocates. Together, we can change the landscape of FemTech investment.